So let's begin.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
we're ready.
So a very good afternoon to one and all present. I, Dr. Tanushree, welcome all to this session on startups. This activity is a part of IIC cell of IMT College of Law, and today we have our esteemed speaker, Mr. V. Shekhar Chaudhary, sir, as our guest speaker. He is co-founder and director of Shiprel Textile and Export Noida. Heartiest welcome to you, sir. And we are highly obliged to you for giving us your valuable time. Now over to you, sir.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Tanushree ma'am, Vipin Bharti sir, and the whole law department team. I would like to thank also the students who joined here, and it's I'm so grateful, and it's my privilege to be here to attend a session, this interactive session of IMT College, which is a respected institution in Delhi NCR. First of all, I would like to introduce myself because today's topic is a startup topic, and this is a topic is has a broad topic, so it's not have any limitations or something like that. We could consider all the perspectives of these startups. So myself, V. Shekhar Chaudhary, I'm basically a MBA graduate, and I belong to Saharanpur place. This is my native place. I born and brought up in a rural area, in a rural surroundings where people mostly involved in the agriculture or the non-service occupations. They mostly involved in these occupations. So people have they have a very less chances to become an entrepreneur at those places. But we belong to that process. We born and brought up there, but we never never come in mind, and we take a good education, everything. We done our graduation. I'm done my graduation from Dehradun. After that, I went to New Zealand for my post graduation, and I had done my MBA from Massey University, New Zealand. This was a very, the moment. This time, this is a changing moment of my life when I changed my mind from a job profile to an entrepreneur. So that is, a turning point in my life. I learn and I see the different cultures in the world, travel around the world as well, see different economies, see different markets, and what I realized that India is a different market and different business perspectives as compared to the other countries. So I came back, and then I came back in 2018 after done my education, and then in 2020 after COVID period, I started my own venture, and it's a Shiprel Textile and Exports. So I'm co-founded this entity in 2020, and I and Avinash Mishra, the another founder of the company, we jointly founded it into 2020, and then we went to this domain in textile and exports because we would like to do business. We have interest in international trade and market, so we would like to go in this field and want to grab opportunity, which is India at the moment is lag behind as compared to other countries. So that's the basically purpose to start the company. So right now we are, we are dealing with 50 plus clients, which is very reputed clients, textile manufacturers, the fashion designers of Delhi NCR. We working A Creations, Kopal Creations. We also working with Rohit Bal. We also ABC Fashions. We also deal with design art. So we have a lots of clients at the moment, which we are currently working. We, as a startup, this is our, the beginning period to get more and more clients and working for those different type of clients. So we could learn about this field. So we could learn the technologies of this field. So now we are planning what we are planning in the future. We are planning to go as well as in the international market. So we are planning to, to set up a system where we could sell the final products to direct to the clients and through the e-commerce platform. So now we are planning to launch on e-commerce platforms where we could direct sell to the people. So that's our upcoming planning, and we are probably it will take around 6 months or 1 year to get in this platform. So after that, we trying to get in more and more countries. We will get available. Our products will get available in more countries as well. So we are trying to get mostly in the international market, because if we talk at the moment, if we talk at this time, what India is going at the moment right now, it is very important time for India and Indian economy and Indian people as well, because if you see in last months after COVID and as well in the last 6 months, if you see the facts and see the so India is growing faster. If you see in the foreign countries, in the developed and the progressive economies, they are doing very slow. They are facing inflation. They are going in the recession. But India is still growing because of its some of the strong and the strengths of its economy. It's doing better, and the most of the developed countries, they are looking to India at the moment. They they want from India to play a bigger role what they are currently playing right now. So most of the developed countries like US and the European Unions and Southern American continent and other countries, Australia, Pacific regions, they are looking towards India. They want that India leads in the economy and beat the China as well, because from last few years, because of the US and the China war, trade war, and then the Russia and Ukraine war, the things got very, very bad in the global market, and prices got very high. So that's why India is very ineffective at the moment from these circumstances. Till now, India is focusing on their own economy and building more and more strengths at the moment, and they are not going to diplomatically, they are not playing at the moment. They are not taking any other sides. They are neutral, and that's why their economy is still doing better. What other things is favorable for the Indians and the Indian economy? If you see the perspective from international trade and market, do I hear properly? So if we see from the international perspective or global market towards India, so India have many strengths. India have achieved labor as well. It is very effective in cost cutting as well. India also have a huge market. India have a large number of skills people who could work and who could do the working technically. India has a large pool of software tech companies. India have many strengths. India have a huge raw material suppliers also. We if we see in the past, we basically are one of the top suppliers of raw materials towards the developed economies. But right now, what India is doing at the moment is, because they are not supplying that much raw material to the other countries, but they are taking raw materials to their own entities, to their Indian-made companies, and we are basically focusing on the prepare the product. We are doing the finished product right now, and then after finishing that product, we are trying to export to the other countries. So basically, underdeveloped countries, backward countries, or developed is now Indian products have demand in all over the world. So that's why when our product goes to there, they use our products. They it brings their trust, and it created a trust among our products, among our services, among our business. So now the global consumer and the global industries and the worldwide in different countries, they having faith in our business. They having trust. It created a credibility for India. So now Indian companies and the Indian entities and the Indian ventures, they have a huge opportunity to go towards the global market and launch their products, launch their finished products there, send their products, and the globally companies accepting in global consumer, global market, they are looking our products. They are looking variety of range of our products. So that's it basically. So in the startup, what basically about the startup is a startup also have a startup doesn't mean that you start a business and that's a startup. That doesn't mean at all, because a startup is little bit different from starting a business. Starting the business is basically anyone can start business, and they can start a shop, they can start a restaurant, they can start a the transport company. Anyone can do, and then start a business without spending or investing of money. They can start with, but that's not a startup. A startup is a different thing from those businesses starting those business. Startup is basically a unique idea to which you made a product, and that product solved a problem which created among the consumers, and then they are looking solution for those problems. So startup is basically giving a shape or giving an idea to a problem. It's a problem solving situation. So starting a business is different thing, and startup is different thing. So in a startup, if you see like we have like around in 60,000 plus startups right now. India is, if we think about the factuals, India is on third place in worldwide in startups. To after US and China, we are launching more and more startups right now, and most of those startups basically they have based on the financial institutions like fintechs companies, healthcare companies, health tech companies like Practo and like NetMed, MedLife. Those are the medical healthcare startups, which is providing health products, health medicines online, and they are selling it through the e-commerce and other platforms to the customers. We also have some fintech startups as well at the moment, like Thread. Thread is one of the most popular startup right now, which is founded 2 years ago, and now it has become around, I think, $3 million of valuation. So it is basically providing services to the credit card holders, and they providing them with the coins. So it is one of the popular startup right now at the moment. Also, like if you see, we have right now, if you see in Indian economy, we have startups in every industry. No industry apart from it. Every industry we have startups. If you see in hotel industry, we have oil. If you if you Agoda is also the hotel industry startup. If we if we go in the transportation and the logistic industries, we have delivery, we have a portal. These are the startups which basically are the new startups which are providing better services as compared to the older entities. Because before, if now what at the moment right is happening is right now, before what we do, if we have to send some items to someone, so what we do, we basically go to the shop and we book a courier, and then we deliver the item, and then the company delivers that item to the destinations. But right now, we are startups who are working at the moment for multiple functionings. So if for the industry purpose, Porter is one startup which basically took materials, bulk materials, like if I see in my industry of in my company, when I have to pick order from the client, so I book a porter, and the porter agents, they took the material, they took the fabric from the clients, and they deliver to us. Then what we do that, then we process that fabric, and then we made a product through that fabric, and then when we have sent back those fabric or those material back to the client, then we again book to the porter, and then the material again took by the porter agent and then delivered to the client. So now it's easy. Before, what happening for the industries, when we have to need raw material. We send the trucks, and then the truck take the raw material, then come to the factory, and then we use that raw material. When we have the finished product, we call to the truck company, transportation company, and then they load the products and then send to the market. Now it's almost removed. Now the replacement is those startups. They took the replacement for the delivery. They do all those functions, as well as, like, if you see in other things, like in travel industry, lots of startups comes in healthcare, in the pecto. Before, what we do, if we have to if we have to take appointment of a doctor, so we go to the hospital, when and then took appointment. We wait for 2 or 3, 4 hours. If it is very famous doctor, we have to, a senior doctor, so we have to wait for 1 hour and then took appointment and then meet doctors, and then again after then follow-up phase, we have to come to the doctors. But now it's all removed. Now Pecto comes. Pecto is a startup also. We also have few other startups where you can online book a consultation of a doctor, and then when your appointment comes, you have to just pay fees online, and then when your appointment comes, you could directly connect to the doctor online, and then tell them your issue or your problems, and then they prescribe you the medicines and to the online, and then you can take those medicines from the stores, or you could online from the NetMeds or MedLife websites. So they directly deliver to your home. So this is basically, so what earlier said, we spend a lot of time, we waste a lot of time to the hospitals, to the in the queues and all those things. So those problems now removed, and the startup working on those problems, and they work and they created an idea, and then after creating this idea, they launched these apps, and then now they are doing very good. So Vidya is a hub of startups right now. It is doing great, and there are a lot of reasons of this, of this growth and of these lots of number of startups, because right now the government of India also they are promoting startups, and they are supporting people or entrepreneurs who are working uniquely, who are develop or design something unique. Government want to support, government want to provide them funds, government want to give them the advertisement, want to advertise their startups. They want to give them tax and the licensing rebates as well. Also, like the other institutions, like the educational institutions, and some of them the economic institutions, they're also promoting right now. They're also promoting entrepreneurship. They are promoting startups. They are doing sessions like the IMT doing regularly. They're doing the startup sessions and the startup seminars, and telling the students, and then more and more about the startups. So lots of institution, banking institution also playing a very important role to provide the funds easily to the companies or to the people, so they can start their own business, their startup. So a lot of institutions, they're working for this startup boom. So that's why startup is what I told to you is an idea, is basically an idea, a unique idea where you sell your products uniquely. It's not a different like what we order. Business is same in like in the previous time as well. We selling products, selling services, and all those ones. So we are doing same thing, but in the unique way. And we provide more and more easy and convenience facilities to the customer and to the market. So they could, they don't need to waste their time, they don't need to waste their money, and they could take those services or take those products easily, and they easily can be available. So that is basically our startup. We have currently 60,000 plus startups at the moment in India. Some are doing very great, some are doing very, very brilliant, and like if you see the OYO and other well as we, if you see the Ola as well, they are the startups which are not only become popular not in India as well, in the overseas markets as well. So if we see the data statics and about the Indian Economic Survey, if we see the statics, we have the 10 unicorns, which is in the top 100 worldwide startups. We have 10 unicorns from it belongs to the India. So unicorn basically are those startups which have a valuation is more than 1 billion. So we have around 10 unicorns uh, among the 100 unicorns of the world. And these unicorns are those like the Byju's. Byju's is one of them. Ola is one of them. Grab is also one of them. Delivery is one of them. So we have loads of startups which are not only popular, getting popular in India as well as in the overseas market as well. So what I'm trying to say, start from an idea and then go if they're doing better, if you're working properly, then if you enter in a global market, then the globally consumer and global market are waiting for you. So you don't need to, worry for your expansion, or you don't need to just need to find out the idea where you can build a startup. You have first you have to work on idea generation. Idea generation is one of the most important part of this industry. So if your idea is unique, if your idea is catchy, and you think that the idea could work in the market, idea could solve problems of the consumer market, so your idea generation is the first priority and the first primary function in the startup efforts. Then second, I think what comes after the idea generation, because lots of people have ideas like students, the graduates, and the people who work for few years and then left out the job, they work and through their expenses, they generate ideas because of their experience in their field. So idea, lots of people have idea, but it is very hard to implement that idea or to give a shape of that idea. So it is a little bit hard because we does not have that much awareness about the startup before. Right now, we doing a lot for the awareness and for for building startups more and more. So what thing is basically what obstacle or what barrier comes in the way to building a startup is that about the funding. So funding is very important when you're thinking about to start a business or you're thinking about the startup. So funding is very relevant, and you could not ignore the funding. Obviously, it's need of a business. So what basically right now people or the startups of India, what currently they are doing for funding their entities, funding for their ventures, for their startups, basically they are going to the angel investors and the investor institutions, different investor institutions. They are going to them. They present their ideas. They tell them what basically unique they have in their ideas, and if investors they think that that this idea could be work in the market or this is a unique idea, so they start funding you, or they start to invest in your startup. So they give you a initial amount. They give you a started amount where you can build your startup. Then you after starting or after the boot filling, you could go to the for the working capital, and then because for running a business you need a working capital, and for the cycle of a cost and payment you need a money to run that business as well. So for those activities and for those functions, there are lots of options at the moment for the funding and for the financial help. So you could take a loan from the bank institutions when you could build a startup, and after 1 or 2 years when you run it properly and then do a successful transactions and business in the market, then you could go to the bank, and if the bank sees your company value and your company idea and your your product profile, your business profile, and they find that it is a good profile, business profile, they could provide you funds. Bank could provide you funds. Also, government started, some schemes like the Mudra schemes and other like the startup initiative where you could apply for the financial help or for funding help for your startups as well. Also, you could go to the the venture your capital ventures where you could get the funds like that. Now the big companies, what are they doing? They big companies, they took some fund from their own company and they invest to the startup. So they invest in the company in its initial time when they are 1 or 2 year old. They invest money in that one, and then after 4 or 5 years, when the company grows up and they has become more valuable, so they took their fund back because they get more value from their company. So it is a profitable idea. So funding is right now what I think at the moment, because I also not could tell you or not could explain you what currently everyone facing right now, because some people they easily get funds and some people they don't get funds from different from different parts. They also could not able to get the funds from angel investors, and they could not arrange the funds from banking institutions as well. So it's little hard to run a business or to run a startup their through their own money is very difficult, and that's why the idea generation is one of the most important and the initial phase of this whole idea or this whole entity. If your idea is unique, you could easily get the fund, you could easily get the investors, you could get easily attention of the customers, consumers, market. You could easily get, you don't need to spend much time or much money on your advertisement, on your publicity, on your promotions. You don't need much that time. Because if idea is unique and everything, so then a startup could easily or slowly go up and facing a new, go step by step, and it is not that much difficult. Second thing is after funding is marketing. Marketing is also very important for any business, not only startup. Every business marketing is very important. Without marketing, you could generate a product, you could make a product, but you could not sell the product without the marketing. So marketing is also a very important thing, and it's the marketing means they have two stages. One is a promotion and one is a selling a product. So just ma'am, just taking a little bit more time if you don't mind. So marketing also is very important for the startups. What I thought, because if you do the marketing properly, if you know your targets and you know your segments where you have to sell your products, if you segment your market properly, and then if you touch a niche market or you know very well which is a niche market for your